Hey everyone, Vikings Guy here. Glad to be back after a little break. I want to delve into a topic that's been bothering me. This Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy issue situation. Recently, Mike FLORIO was on Paul Allen's radio show on KFAN 100.3, and he was talking about a couple things that kind of irritated me. I'm going to let you listen to this next clip, but after this clip, we'll come back and discuss what I like to call FLORIO Fiction. And I'm just getting so tired of the drama that he creates. But let's watch this next clip.
For old Sam, the man on the fan.
Well, I've been spending a lot of time on this, and I've been trying to figure it out. And look, there are different ways it can go. Now that he hasn't been tagged, that's off the table. I thought maybe they would tag and trade him, tag him and keep him for a year. They might still keep him. A lot of it depends on, and this has parallels to Kirk Cousins last year. Mm-hmm. What else is out there for Sam Darnold? And is he willing to take that in lieu of whatever the Vikings' best offer is? Assuming they're going to put an offer on the table. I have no reason to think they won't put an offer on the table that is good for them. But what is the magic number that would be good for the Vikings to bring Sam Darnold back? And what would the structure look like? Would it be a one-year deal or would it be 2 years or longer? And 2 years becomes the magic number, magic in a bad way, from J.J. McCarthy's perspective. Because if they make a 2-year commitment to Sam Darnold, I predict J.J. McCarthy's going to ask to be traded. And maybe that's what the Vikings would want to do. You know, before the wheels came off in Week 18 for Darnold, before the chariot went back into a pumpkin, the thinking was, hey, wait a minute. We kind of stumbled into plutonium by accident with Sam Darnold, so J.J. McCarthy is better than any of the quarterbacks in this year's class. You get a top 5 pick for him. You go get some stud player at some other position of need. Win-win. Sorry, J.J. Right. Stuff happens, and you're getting a fresh start somewhere else. If they try to do an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, sit 3 years, handoff to McCarthy, McCarthy's not going to be on board with it, I believe. That's going to be a problem. And through it all, and I wrote this yesterday, and, you know, I got to be real with everybody. I got to be honest with the audience. I'm not thrilled about it, but there is a sense from people who are dealing with the Vikings that they don't know who's in charge. They don't know who's calling the shot. Now, maybe that's deliberate. Maybe that's part of the strategy. Maybe it's part of the negotiation. One step short of putting a horse head in someone's bed. I don't know. But there's a real sense of confusion as to who's got the final say on this, who wants Darnold, who wants McCarthy, who's making these decisions. And it's created this sense, and you've seen reports that it's very fluid. One of the reasons it's fluid is no one's got a clear picture of who at the end of the day is calling the ball between Darnold and McCarthy.
All right, so there was a few things that were ultra irritating to me. FLORIO likes to pretend he's got all these sources, and he has some sources. But to say that in the event that they signed Darnold, the Vikings, to a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal, that McCarthy be like, nope, I'm getting traded. Like, he has the leverage to say, nope, I'm getting traded. That's just not what I'm going to do. I mean, know the audience. Really, FLORIO? I mean, figure out anything about J.J. McCarthy. Does he seem like a kid who would just then give up? I'm so uncompetitive that I'd be like, sorry, Vikings, I'm out. He's in no position to ask to be out, but yes, he's out. First off, the Vikings are not trading J.J. McCarthy, period, full stop, end of story. I know this because I also talk to people. They are not trading J.J. McCarthy. Now, is there a possibility they bring Darnold back on another year or two? It's possible. I don't think it's likely. So let's mark that down. The final issue I want to address. Who's in charge in Egan at TCO? Well, who's in charge of the scouting department? Who's in charge of drafting players? Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Who's in charge of free agency? Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. You know, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah gets sick during the combine. He's physically ill, can't be there, and now FLORIO's throwing all of this subterfuge like people work with the Vikings. They don't even know who's in charge. Bullshit, Mike FLORIO. Stop making up lies. He says shit all the time. Last year when the Vikings are going to play the Rams and Stafford is, well, he might be traded to the Vikings. We've been hearing some steam about him going to the Vikings. Come on. You make stuff up, it destroys your credibility. Mike FLORIO, I don't even think he's a nice guy. I'll just say it. I don't think Mike FLORIO is a decent human being. I think he's sort of a bad guy in a lot of respects. I think he says things to grind people up. He says he's a Vikings fan, but bullshit. Just because you've suffered for 50 years doesn't make you a Vikings fan, right? He's so quick to jump off that bandwagon when things are going sideways, and he loves to take shots at the ownership and management of this team, and I, for one, am all against that. So that's all I got to say about that. big headlines here. Number one, J.J. McCarthy not being traded. Not getting traded. We're not bringing Sam Darnold back, I think. But J.J. McCarthy, we're not trading him. Period. Full stop. And that's Vikings Guy. I hope you have a great weekend, folks. Skol.